Welcome back to Grade 8 Geography, Unit Number 2, Global Inequalities, Economic Development and Quality of Life. This is Lesson Number 14, How do we compare quality of life? Okay, before we begin today's video, here are a couple of questions to consider. Do you compare your quality of life with another person's quality of life? If you do, why do you compare your life to another person's life? So you're going to put this video on pause so that you can consider, write down your responses to these two questions. And in tomorrow's class, we're going to discuss our various responses to these two questions. So please put the video on pause right now. Many people compare their quality of life with the quality of life of other people from their country. They also compare their country's quality of life with other countries' quality of life. Country leaders compare each other all the time. All of this comparing helps countries with recognizing their problems and setting goals for improving their quality of life. And I'm sure that this gentleman in the center of this picture is familiar to most or all of you. After being elected in 1994, South African President Nelson Mandela's top priority was undoing racist policies and improving quality of life for black citizens of South Africa. Indexes, sometimes pronounced indices, help us compare the development of different countries around the world. An index is a table that shows the data made from a set of observations. Examples of indexes used to measure and compare quality of life include the Human Development Index, the World Happiness Report, and the Gross National Happiness Index. Each index is based on different criteria. So for your geography project, you've been looking at a more recent Human Development Index and comparing things like life expectancy, GDP per capita, uh, number of years spent in school. This one's interesting, the World Happiness Report. And we see that Denmark is clearly in the top position, followed by Finland, and by Netherlands, and by Canada. So something to think about is uh, why do these countries rank so high on this index? The Human Development Index, or HDI, is viewed as the best tool for measuring and comparing the quality of life in countries around the world. The HDI is written by the United Nations every year. The UN gathers data from all of its member countries and gives each country a rank. The HDI is based on a number of factors, but the three key areas that the HDI looks at are life expectancy, the average number of years a person lives in the country; knowledge, the average number of years that a child and adult goes to school in the country; and income, the total amount of money made by all of the citizens of a country in 1 year. A perfect score on the HDI is 1.000. No country has ever achieved a perfect score. It's important to keep in mind that the country may get a high score on one or two categories, but their overall rank may still be very low. For example, Qatar has a higher gross national income than Canada, but Canada ranks much higher overall than Qatar, number 8, as compared to number 31. So the question is, why do you think Canada has a much higher rank than Qatar? And this is something we'll discuss when we meet in tomorrow's class. Not all indexes are based on things that we can measure. The World Happiness Report, WHR, also written by the UN, is based on factors that cannot be given an exact measurement. The six main categories on the WHI are healthy life expectancy, having someone to count on, freedom to make life choices, fair treatment in society, generosity of fellow citizens, and household income. So just take a look at this world map and look at the scale here. Which parts of the world rank highest on the World Happiness Report from 2013? And why do you think these areas were the happiest? Okay, we'll also talk about this in tomorrow's class. Bhutan created the Gross National Happiness Index as another way to measure quality of life. It surveys people's spiritual, physical, and social well-being, and it measures the health of the environment. People being surveyed are given 4 choices for each question: unhappy, narrowly or slightly happy, extensively happy, happy in many areas, and deeply, very happy. Countries that use the WHR and GNHI develop policies to increase the level of happiness of their citizens. It's very important to keep in mind that these indexes are far from perfect. The HDI can be used to show which countries are doing the best and the worst, but it does not give solutions for a country's problem. These indexes create a score for an entire country, but they do not measure levels of inequality within the country. For example, Canada and the US are very wealthy countries, but they have areas where people are poor and do not have access to good schools and good jobs. A low score on an index can create a very negative, inaccurate image of a country. When we see Sierra Leone ranked last on the HDI, we think that everyone in the country is poor and malnourished. Television shows and commercials also promote negative stereotypes about low-ranking countries. As you can see here, both images are from life in Sierra Leone. My questions for you are, which image do you feel is shown more often, and how can we change our tendency to think only about the negative aspects about life in Sierra Leone? Of course, we will discuss this in tomorrow's class. So let's finish off today's video by considering the following. What is one advantage of using an index to compare quality of life? What is a disadvantage of using an index to compare quality of life? Which of the indexes we learned about do you think is the most effective? Why do you feel this way? Lots of questions on this video, so make sure that you do put this video on pause so you can consider your answers to these questions, which we will discuss in tomorrow's class. But until we meet again, this concludes today's video.